I'm on holidays in Bali, and not for the first time, when I've been in Bali, I managed to get on a stage last night and play guitar and sing. And I'll tell you how I did it. First of all, it wouldn't have been possible without the puddle jumper. And I know this isn't long enough to have been a long-term test, but I've had this baby now for a week, and it's a total game changer, and I'm so glad I got it. It's well worth the money. I said in my last video that I wasn't sure if it was worth the money. It's worth the money, and what a great little travel guitar. I'll put it together first so I can talk about it. I don't always pack it down, but for the video, dramatic effect, blah, 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 you know. I'll just retune. Sounds good. So how did I do it? Let me tell you, first of all, I'm in Nusa Lembongan, on Nusa Lembongan. It's a smaller island off the east coast of Bali. Been here a couple of times. There was a place across the road that we went for dinner last night. And I noticed they had live music. Now, I'm not a shy guy, so when I see a muso setting up, as I did when we actually, I went there, backtrack. There's a massage place right next to it, and my wife and I went first of all to go and get a massage. And I noticed him setting up, doing his sound check, and I was waiting. So I went and spoke music with another muso. What's wrong with that? And Reva, his name is, cool guy. There he was sitting up, and I said, I play as well. He goes, oh, well, if you play, you should come and play tonight. Come and have dinner. Because I said I'm going to have dinner here, and I can't wait to hear. He says, you should play. So it was his invitation first. Now, you don't have to invite me many times. Quickly fast forward. We got there, we're having dinner. He's told me he was going to do 2 sets, so we'd sort of already kind of worked it out. I didn't bring the guitar. During one of his quick breaks, I went up and I said, and he says, are you ready to play? You know, you can play mine. I said, well, and he had an electric guitar. And I've actually never played an electric guitar in my life, ever. So I didn't want last night to be the first time. I said, I've got an acoustic guitar at home. He goes, oh, great. He goes, how far is it? I said, it's right there. So went back and got it, had my guitar ready. And he started introducing me to the, soon we're going to hear from Mr. Norm, he said. Anyway, he took his scheduled break after his first hour and a half set. I went up and I said, when you finish your break, we'll do a song together. He goes, no, you can have it right now. So away I went. I'd finished my dinner. And I think the reasons, or what gave me the confidence to do it, is something I've spoken about in other videos. And that is after probably 4 years of, I've been playing since COVID, so it's coming up 6 years this year. Playing and singing, and those that don't know my story, I picked up an instrument for the first time in my life at the age of 49 during COVID, and I realised I needed to do something that I wished I'd done my whole life, and I'd never spent the time to do it. COVID gave me a little bit of extra time to do it. Started with an ukulele and progressed to a guitar about a year after that, and 2 years into that, I started doing open mics and I started trying to get better. And now I perform on a semi-regular basis around my home area, and I play with some other people. I'm not great, but I'm good enough to entertain, as I discovered last night. Anyway, so what allowed me to do that last night is, as I explained in a few videos ago, is I've probably now got, I would say, at least 30 to 40 songs. Look, 30 to 40 songs I can play competently. I've got at least 15 to 20 songs that I can play at the drop of a hat without any music, any notes. And the power that gives you, the confidence in me anyway, that inspires in me to be able to just simply, confidently and competently not worry about your surroundings. Look, his mix last night, it was terrific, but it was very slanted to his guitar. So my little puddle jumper, I thought sounded pretty flat last night, and I'm going to post some videos, post some clips. Somewhere in amongst this, and you'll probably hear that it doesn't sound perfect, but what I did get last night is I was able to jump into, I think I started with Songbird. Oh, capo. There you go. And I had a capo ready. I wish I knew which button to push, then I know how to please you. Sad but true. Anyway, I started with that. I then went into, what did I go into straight after that? I know it was another second capo song. Wow, I can't remember. To Her Door by Paul Kelly. I did Something in the Orange by Zach Bryan. What else did I do? I actually, thinking back to it, I thought, because his style of music, he was terrific. If you've ever been to Bali, you see these musos, they really know their stuff. They know how to entertain. They also know how to pick the songs for the crowd, and he really did. He was background music. Although he was on a stage and people were clapping, he had a tip jar out, he was highly entertaining. One of the things I was really impressed with him, and I think it changes something that I did, is he would reach for notes that he probably couldn't make. Now, I've been told by people that maybe I try and do that occasionally. He did it, and I'm not being hypercritical, but he didn't always reach the note, and it was fine. Because people understood what was going on. People understood he wasn't the musician. And I think when I get on a stage, people understand I'm not Paul Kelly. I'm not Paul Kelly. You're not paying $150 to see Paul Kelly. Or if it was in a little private venue, $300, $400 to see Paul Kelly. People know that I'm just me. And I'm giving you my best version. I'm not standing by to watch you slowly down, or watch me walking out the door, out the door. People know that it's me giving my best impression of a Paul Kelly song. If they don't, then they'll probably leave. I don't know. Anyway, yes, I learnt from Reva last night that he went for some notes that he probably wasn't capable of, and he went for them anyway, and it was perfectly fine. He had a relatively modest setup. He did something I've seen before, and I have a loop pedal at home. I think I need to experiment with it a bit. What he would do is he would just do a very simple. He'd do it. He'd just loop his own little drum beat. And I saw another guy do that at a very upmarket hotel near where I live. And one time, and this guy was exceptional. And I actually went up to him and said, "Is that a drum machine you've got running there?" He goes, "No. You know, because again, I talk to musos. He was just doing that. Anyway, so Reva, I was very, very impressed with him. So then when I got up, there was a couple of things that were in my way. First of all, I was sitting down. Now, I do sit down sometimes, particularly when I play with my the female that I accompany, Katie, who plays keys. So it makes sense for us to both sit down. She doesn't stand while she's playing keys. So there are times when I sit down, particularly for longer sets, but I much prefer to stand. And his whole setup didn't allow me to stand, so I had to sit first. And it was on a little box. It was literally a little box, not even a stool. And his pedals were in front of me, so I had to sort of spread my legs a bit. His microphone was fine, and I played the songs that I knew. Then I thought I'd try 2 new songs that I've been practicing whilst I've been here. The first one is Iris by Goo Goo Dolls. Give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest thing to heaven and I'll ever be, and I don't want to go home right now. I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. So I did that song. I did put the lyrics up on he had a little holder, I put my phone up. I shouldn't have, because it distracted me and I knew the lyrics anyway. I also did a little version of Sex is on Fire. Sex is on fire. And I finished the night, because what happened is I played some, what happened? I played my set. I reckon I played, I say set because it ended up that way. I reckon I played I went up there with the intent to play 3 songs. People enjoyed it. People asked me to play more. Reva was rapt. Now, make no mistake, I did not steal his limelight. He was more than happy to have a quiet night for his second set. I was doing him the favour. He was rapt. And he could see that I wasn't going to, embarrass the night or make a fool of it all. He could see that I was being sensible. I wasn't drunk, because I don't drink. And he could see that things were going to be all right. So then 3 became probably 6 or 7. And then I said, that's enough. I can't remember what I finished on. Doesn't matter. And then he finished his second set. We were enjoying ourselves. People were dancing. People were dancing to me, but they were also dancing to Reva. Reva finished his final set. And then he said, Norm, if you want to come up and play more, why not? And people said, yeah. And so I did. Anyway, I think I ended up playing about 15 songs. I think I finished on... Did I finish on that? I know what I finished on. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said, I think I remember the film, and as I recall, I think both kind of liked it. And I said, well, that's one thing I got. I think I finished there. One of my last songs was also... Let me go out like a blister in the sun. Let me go out. Big hands, you know you're the one. Thank you very much, River. That is it. Thank you so much. Did that anyway. Why am I making this video? I'm saying because it follows on two things. My little puddle jumper, my new little mate. She's never going to replace Gibbo, my J45 Gibson. Never. She's not going to replace my Maton. I've got a lovely Maton 808, which this is far more 808 shape, but it's smaller. But what it allowed me to do is to have a familiar instrument with me that, and by the way, I'm not just roaming the nightclubs and bars of Bali trying to look for gigs. Sometimes I'm just noodling on my own, and I'm just entertaining maybe a family, maybe myself. I've made a couple of videos, but the puddle jumper, my goodness, to have that, and I'm so glad that I paid the extra to get a pickup put in. I think it's a passive pickup. I don't think it's a piezo. I should find out, but it must be passive, right? Because I don't know if it's got a battery. That's a good question. I should find that out. So there's that, and there's also the knowledge or the confidence that having songs in your book, you can just whip out, even if it's 5, if it's 10, to have those songs that you know really, really well enough that you can just play at any time, probably on any guitar. I could have learned any guitar. Probably should have tried the electric, but I just didn't. And I had a great time. Reva and I spoke afterwards, and he was very generous. You can tell he's a full pro, Reva, and he probably plays, I'll tell you something else in a second. He was very generous. He said that he really appreciated it, but the both of us said the same thing, and we both said, it doesn't matter how good you or bad you are. It matters whether the crowd enjoy themselves. I had a good time, which helped the crowd have a good time. People danced. People were entertained. Whether I play at a restaurant and nobody notices me, that's fine as well. I'm not there to necessarily be noticed. But to see the crowd react, it gives me the confidence that I'm on part of the right path, and that is, my path is, I know I'm never going to be a great vocalist. I know I'm never going to be a great guitar player. I have started learning a couple of little scales while I've been away. They still kind of bore me, but maybe I had a breakthrough the other day. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to be the greatest guitarist, but I can now do it to a level where I know how to make it sound okay. My rhythm, I can hold rhythm, which means that I can play a song, people will hear the song, they'll have familiarity, and hopefully they'll be entertained. And that's just so powerful to be able to do now, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for Reva. If Reva's seeing this, he said he looked me up. I'm really, really grateful for that opportunity. I'm going to go home in a couple of weeks' time, and I'll put this one in my toolkit of experiences. It was terrific. The thing I'll finish on. As I was finishing with Reva said, "Okay, so I'm playing in two nights' time at this place. Will you come along again and you can help the kids?" So, in theory, I got rebooked in Bali. There you go. See ya. Take